Good afternoon, sir. I'll be asking you just a few questions about SpinBlock.
Sure.
So can you just tell us about your company, SpinBlock?
Sure. So, many years ago when I was going down to college at Indiana University, I was just kind of learning how to play table tennis.
Right.
I was learning how to spin the ball, top spin the ball, put spin on it. And I became friends with one of the guys that lived in my dormitory.
Okay.
We had a table, and he would block for me. So I would ask him, hey, can you block some for me while I'm working on spinning the ball?
Right.
And he said, sure. So then we would meet in the rec center.
Right.
We had a table, and I would try to top spin, and he would block for me. And so then, fast forward 30 years later, when there was a community center that opened up in Carmel, I approached them and said, hey, this would be a good place for a table tennis club. So I met with them a few times, and the management thought it was a good idea too.
Okay.
And so we started a club there, 6 tables, and then a year later we added 3 more tables, so we had 9 tables, and then we had 3 more a year and a half later, and we had 12 tables.
Wow, awesome.
I did that for almost 7 years, running that club,
Wow.
twice a week, but we were limited to just 2 days a week. And because it was at a community center, I didn't have much say in what we did. I couldn't do a lot of clinics. We only held 1 or 2 tournaments a year. We couldn't even have our own web page or anything. So eventually, after I built that up and had so many players come in there, 30, 40 players each time,
Wow.
I decided maybe I'll open up a full-time club. So I opened this club up, and then when I was trying to think of a name for the club, I remembered back to when I first started playing down at IU, and I would spin the ball and my friend would block it for me. So, and then I ran that name by my kids and my wife, some different names too, and it was an easy name, and they all liked SpinBlock, and so I just went with SpinBlock. And then when they designed the logo, my wife made that look like a ping pong ball above the eye,
Yeah.
and then I looked, and then the paddle, and we didn't have that little swish.
Right.
And so I looked at that logo and I thought, yeah, that's really good. I like it, but there's something missing. And I thought about it and I thought, oh, can you show a little swish or
Swish
something
of the
there?
ball.
So then we see that that's a, and so she did that. She designed it on her computer, and we were all like, yep, that's it. That's it. It's simple. And you can see what that is, so then that's how we came up with the name.
I remember when you started your club, it was just few folks coming in to register into this club. But now you have the large numbers. Do you ever imagine you having this turnout like this before?
I envisioned averaging about 20 people a day, at least, okay?
Okay.
But when we opened up, there was another club in town over on the far east side.
Okay.
So some of those members over there were very loyal to that club, and even though we had a bigger club and I thought a nicer club, they were used to going there. And so, and I understood that. I didn't want to take them, but we were on the opposite side of town.
Okay.
So I was trying to get a lot of members that I had at the Monon Community Center and from this side of town.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take away from them. So about a year and a half later, they had to close down.
Oh.
And so then after they closed down, then all those players eventually started coming here. And then there was a little bar downtown called Smash Social.
Right.
And they had 6 tables in there, 5 or 6 tables, but it was more about a sociable atmosphere and having a drink or something. It wasn't a true table tennis club. Well, through the COVID, they closed down too. So now we're like the only club here in town.
What is your future plan for this club? Are you seeing yourself expanding, having various branches, maybe in Carmel, in Fishers, in Indianapolis? Do you see yourself having spread branches all over Indiana?
Well, we've had some people come here from out of town. They were like from the West Coast.
From the West Coast.
And they loved the name, and they were like, have you guys thought about having a franchise? They thought we should franchise this.
All right.
So I don't know. We signed a 4-year lease initially. The end of our 4 years will be next February. And we're not sure if we're going to renew that lease here or not. The building here that we're in, most of it was empty, but now it's all pretty much rented out. And a new company just bought this whole building about a month and a half ago. I don't even know what their plans are, if they want to even allow us to renew the lease here. So I'm going to find out from them, and I still want to be involved with it somewhat, but it takes a lot of commitment, and my wife and kids and I are here almost every day, and we want to do some other things as well. So if somebody else wants to come in and join and help out or something and partner or take it over, I would not be above that, you know. But you have to be careful, because we've built it up. It's a good name. People love coming here. We have 5 stars on our reviews. So I don't want somebody to come in that is not good with people, doesn't work well with people. So that's a good question. I'm not sure. It's still kind of up in the air.
So the last question, sir, is what can you say about Mr. Sean? I know Mr. Sean has been with you for years now, in helping out in his little way, training folks and all that. What can you say about him, or what's your review about Mr. Sean?
So Sean, and many people coming here don't know this. Okay, they don't know my relationship with Sean. So Sean, I think, is a big reason why I got this club.
Awesome.
When I first went to the older club, before I opened this up, I was thinking about it. I went over there on a Sunday afternoon. That was a popular day, and Sean was there. And that's the first time I ever met Sean. I didn't know he was living here in Indianapolis. So here we had such a great player living in Indianapolis. Myself and other players didn't even know it.
Wow.
And I heard he'd been living here for about a year and a half. And I was thinking, how could we have such a good player living here and not even know this person exists around here? So I played him a competitive, friendly match. He beat me like deuce in the fifth. It was very close, and not many people were really talking to him or anything. But immediately I thought, my 2 kids play, and I said, "Hey, would you like to come over and give lessons to my kids?" And he said, "Sure." So I made Sean as one of my designated coaches. With the USATT, you have to go through the safety compliance training, and they do a criminal background check on you. So Sean did that, and he was fine. His background was good. So he became one of our coaches, and he's very humble. He's been very gracious. Practices with everybody, and so he is the type of person you want to have affiliated with your club. You know, he's just a good all-around person, nice to everybody.
All right. So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap, sir.
Okay.
Thank